Welcome to the Future of Work Live. Hosted by Mark Salisbury, author of the new book, Socrates Digital for Learning and Problem Solving. Each 25-minute episode with Mark and his guests prepares you for the upcoming new world of work.
Welcome to the Future of Work Live. I'm your host, Mark Salisbury. In today's show, I'll be interviewing myself. That's right, I'll be interviewing myself about my new book, Socrates Digital for Learning and Problem Solving. You'll want to stick around and see how I do this. So, viewers of the Future Work Live know that I begin the show by introducing my guests. So that turns out to be me. So this is all about me. And so I'll start with Mark Salisbury is a scientist, professor, leader, speaker, author, consultant, and expert on the new wisdom economy. Wow, you think I could have added a few extra things about myself there, couldn't you? So after completing his PhD at the University of Oregon, Mark worked for 11 years at the Boeing Company, where his time was split between the research and development of artificial intelligence, human-computer applications, and computer-based training programs. After leaving Boeing, Mark founded Vitel, a knowledge management solution provider for the U.S. Department of Energy and the national laboratories. Mark's latest project is Socrates Digital, a new type of computer application that's described in Mark's new book, Socrates Digital for Learning and Problem Solving. More information about Socrates Digital is available at the Socrates Digital website. That's socrates.digital. That's the extension. Finally, Mark was a professor and program director of the University of New Mexico for 17 years, where he published extensively in artificial intelligence and knowledge management. Currently, Mark is a professor of computer science and organizational development and change at the University of St. Thomas. So that's just about all I have about me. So let's bring in me and see what I have to say. So we'll go ahead and get started with that. And oh my goodness, it looks like there I am. And so let's go ahead and see what I have to say. And welcome to the show. It's strange, but I feel like I know you. Anyway, let's get on with the interview. Your book, Socrates Digital for Learning and Problem Solving.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Oh, you're just going to interrupt me then.
Okay. I know you too. My book is about how to build a new application called Socrates Digital that will help users reason like Socrates would with big data. It asks questions that Socrates would ask to keep problem solvers on track, help them evaluate their reasoning, document the outcome of problem-solving sessions, and share those results with the problem solvers and other audiences.
Well, Socrates Digital seems to be some sort of oxymoron. Two words that don't go together. Is that what you had in mind?
Well, I thought that there are two words that tell us something about ourselves. Socratic reasoning is an old idea, but it's still the best way for people to make decisions and solve problems. And digital refers to the relatively new idea of computer application. So together, they combine the best of the old with the best of the new for solving problems.
Where did the idea of creating Socrates Digital come from?
A couple of years ago, I published an article in IEEE's flagship journal, Computer. The article was called When Computers Advise Us How to Represent the Types of Knowledge Users Seek for Expert Advice. It was in response to a trend that I see where computer systems, especially AI and machine learning applications, present users with results that they, the users, cannot explain. For example, this past summer, there was about a driver getting fired by an algorithm used by Amazon to evaluate the performance of its human delivery drivers. Well, of course, the article made it sound like the computer fired the driver. However, inside the article, it also highlighted the difficulty people have in taking responsibility for decision-making and problem-solving of these intelligent systems, since they cannot really explain how they come to their conclusions. So, in contrast, the human Socrates stressed that in solving problems, we should seek evidence, analyze basic concepts, closely examine assumptions, use those to make our conclusions, and recognize the implications of the conclusions. This chain of reasoning is still the best way for people to solve problems and explain these solutions to others. So this led me to think, why should humans be trying to take responsibility for the reasoning of machines which we can't explain, when instead we should build intelligent machines that support the way humans reason best? This thought was the beginning of Socrates Digital.
How did you build Socrates Digital?
Yeah, I used Richard Paul and Linda Elder's conceptual framework of Socratic questioning to develop the questions for Socrates Digital. Their framework places Socratic questions in two categories. One category contains questions relating to solving the problem, and the other category contains questions relating to assessing the quality of reasoning. From a software perspective, Socrates Digital is a very modest program. However, it's designed to leverage sophisticated artificial intelligence services to analyze and understand user responses to inform its following questions. So, in a nutshell, Socrates Digital leverages the previous research for delivering Socratic questioning and the latest in artificial intelligence technologies to understand and guide human beings in solving complex problems.
You say in your book that we really don't teach problem solving in schools. We teach problem recognition. What do you mean by that?
Well, most of us were taught that problem solving is recalling information and applying a known solution to the problem we're facing. This simplistic view of human problem solving has tremendous implications for our work and the society in which we live. In the workplace, we focus on the many ways we can learn about a problem, and then we spend very little time on the problem solving process itself. We reinforce this view of problem solving in our educational system by teaching students all the problems they will face in their profession and equipping them to solve those problems when they encounter them. So we really don't teach our students any formal process to solve problems.
In the second chapter, you introduce critical thinking and Socratic problem solving. How do they relate to solving problems with big data?
Most historians place the beginning of critical thinking with the teaching of Socrates. Socratic reasoning is what philosophers call inductive reasoning. And inductive reasoning is generalizing from observations in specific concrete cases. So Isaac Newton was using inductive reasoning when he derived the general law of gravity from many specific concrete observations about falling apples and the movement of planets. When we contrast inductive reasoning with deductive reasoning, we note that deductive reasoning deduces conclusions from a general principle. So deductive reasoning assumes that we can be sure about all these general abstract principles. Euclidean geometry is built on deductive reasoning since it starts from general abstract axioms assumed to be self-evident, such as the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. However, Socratic reasoning is a better approach than deductive reasoning for solving complex problems that do not have a single right answer.
Could you give us an example of how to use Socratic questioning to solve a problem?
Yes. For example, if we're trying to answer the question, if investing in a motel chain is a good investment, right? Socrates Digital may start with the question then, which concept do you want to use to explain how to answer this question? Our response may be that we wish to start with the concept of occupancy rate to determine if increasing occupancy rate can increase total revenue in the motel chain enough to pay back the rate of return that's offered on this investment. So, continuing, Socrates Digital may ask, what information, data, or experience do we have that supports or informs this analysis? In answering this question, we might find that the Dundalk Inn and Suites motel has low occupancy rates and low total revenue. This answer will prompt Socrates Digital to ask, do any assumptions underlie this observation? So now, after we take some examination of this and look at it a little closer, we may respond that we assume occupancy rate is positively correlated with total revenue. And this discovery may bring Socrates Digital to ask the following question. Given these concepts, assumptions, and information, what is the most reasonable conclusion? And we may conclude that raising the occupancy rate for the motels would increase total revenue enough to meet the projected rate of return for the investment in the motel chain, making it a good investment. So we've skipped some steps here, but I think you can get the idea.
We've known for a long time that Socratic questioning is a good way for humans to solve problems. Why do we need a computer program like Socrates Digital to help us?
Yeah, well, computing capabilities can enhance Socratic problem solving. Like the human Socrates, Socrates Digital makes sure that all the right questions are asked in the right order. Teachers who use Socratic questioning can tell you that this is harder than you might think. Furthermore, Socrates Digital helps problem solvers combine evidence about their quality of reasoning during the problem solving process and help calculate their overall confidence level for the solution.
Why now? Why did you develop and write about Socrates Digital at this time?
Well, the simple answer is big data. The arrival of big data and the opportunity to analyze it makes Socrates Digital essential in today's data-driven world. With emerging technologies like the Internet of Things, our challenge is being able to reason about the coming avalanche of data. We cannot settle for deriving isolated insights and ponder how they're related. We really need to chain together our reasoning to solve problems with big data. And that's what Socrates Digital helps us to do.
How can Socrates Digital help analyze big data on business intelligence platforms?
Well, business intelligence platforms have a collection of tools for analyzing big data. They have the capabilities to analyze data as a spreadsheet application, including statistical analyses. They also have the capabilities to identify or retrieve data as a database management system. And they have additional capabilities provided by artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. However, most users apply these analytical capabilities using deductive reasoning. They analyze parts of the data to see if it follows a general rule. So, for example, to determine if investing in a motel is a good investment, users can run several analyses to determine if occupancy rate, total revenue, or other measures of financial health, will make this prediction. Then these users apply visualization tools to display all these seemingly related but individual results on a cluttered dashboard, leaving users to speculate what they might mean collectively. And so we've tried to deal with this up till now. So there's a lot of books and articles out there that describe how to take these loosely associated results and tell a story with them. However, these stories do not create the same level of confidence in the results as Socratic problem solving, where we seek evidence in big data, analyze the data with basic concepts, closely examine assumptions of the data analysis, and then use these judgments to make our conclusions and recognize the implications of these conclusions. For business intelligence platforms, applying Socratic problem solving to big data dramatically increases our confidence in the results of our analyses.
Much of your book describes how to build a Socrates Digital system. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, it is. It describes the 4 phases of design and development: understand, explore, materialize, and realize. And so a lot of the book is around how would you actually build one of these Socrates Digital applications. So the completion of these 4 phases results in a Socrates Digital system that leverages artificial intelligence services. And so the artificial intelligence services include a natural language processor provided by several artificial intelligence service providers, including Apple, Microsoft, Google, IBM, and Amazon.
Well, sounds kind of complicated. Are there easier ways to build a Socrates Digital system?
There are, and I recognize that. So, for example, in an appendix to my book, I describe how to build a Socrates Digital application using Microsoft's Power Virtual Agent. And this appendix is available for free on my publisher's website and on Socrates Digital website. So we have a website that's called Socrates.digital, and digital is the extension. So you can see it there.
I give guests an opportunity to plug something. On the show. Is there something that you'd like to plug?
I would like to plug something. And this is for you other future guests on the show that you can do this to. And so while my book describes the rationale and design and implementation of the Socrates Digital application, Socrates Digital is also a brand name of my company, Vitel, for professional services to assist organizations in developing Socrates Digital application and embracing them to improve problem solving. Software development and change management consulting services all under one roof.
We've talked about your book and the services your company provides. How would you summarize a takeaway for the audience?
Well, I would say our takeaway is that Socrates Digital is essential in today's data-driven world. So thanks for having me on the show.
Well, it's good having you. So thanks for being here. And that takes us to the end of this show. It's a wrap now. I would like to begin, or end, I guess, by thanking myself for being a guest. For information about my book, Socrates Digital for Learning and Problem Solving, go to www.marksalisbury.com. There you can learn more about me and find previously recorded episodes of The Future of Work Live on YouTube and as podcasts. If you want to use Socrates Digital to improve problem solving in your organizations, you can go to the website www.socrates.digital. Digital is the extension for information there. And remember to look for the next episode of The Future of Work Live. And we'll see you then.
You can find the Future of Work Live episodes in video and podcast format on www.marksalisbury.com. Additionally, YouTube hosts the video episodes on the Future of Work channel, and Apple, Spotify, and Google host the podcasts.